Chapter 8. The Gathering Storm. Part 1. Threads of Fate. Our ragtag group huddled around the pulsing holographic map, its eerie light casting long shadows across the ancient stone walls. "Right," I said, clapping my hands together to break the tense silence. "We need a plan. Preferably one that doesn't end with us all dead or the city in ruins." "Any takers?" Grimlock snorted, his bushy eyebrows furrowing. "Aye. How about we find those last 3 fragments, bash some veiled hand skulls and call it a day?" I couldn't help but grin. Leave it to a dwarf to boil down a world-ending crisis to its bare essentials. Simple. I like it. Anyone want to add some nuance to our dwarven friend's master plan? Lyria stepped forward, her obsidian eyes reflecting the swirling images of Quandaria's possible futures. "We need to split up," she said, her melodious voice tinged with urgency. 3 fragments, 3 teams. It's the only way we'll find them in time. I nodded slowly, mulling over the idea. "It's risky," Solarius interjected, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword. "The veiled hand will be hunting us. Alone, we're vulnerable. And together, we're slow," Eloin countered, their eyes darting between the pulsing lights on the map. "I can sense the fragments more clearly now. Restless, moving. If we don't act quickly, we might lose them entirely." I ran a hand through my hair, feeling the weight of the decision pressing down on me. "All right," I said finally, straightening up. "We split up, but we do this smart. Eloin, you said you can sense the fragments more clearly now. Can you give us a more accurate idea of where they are or where they're headed? We need more precision." The young elf closed their eyes, brow furrowed in concentration. After a moment, they pointed to 3 distinct areas on the map. "There," they said, opening their eyes. "One's in the Twilight Bazaar, another in the Whispering Woods, and the third—" They hesitated, a look of confusion crossing their face. "The third is moving, fast, like it's on a ship or something." I felt my eyebrows shoot up. "A ship? Don't tell me we're going to have to stage a heist on the high seas now." Grimlock chuckled. "Could be worse, lad. Could be in the belly of a dragon." "Don't even joke about that," I muttered, though I couldn't help but smirk. "All right, here's how we play this. Lyria, you and Solarius head to the Twilight Bazaar. Your combined magical expertise should help navigate whatever traps or illusions we might find there." They nodded in agreement, and I turned to Grimlock. "You're with me, old friend. We're going back to the Whispering Woods. I've got a feeling we're going to need your particular brand of diplomacy." The dwarf grinned, patting his axe affectionately. "Aye, nothing says let's be friends like a good axe to the face." "And me?" Eloin asked, a mix of determination and fear in their eyes. I smiled, hoping it looked more confident than I felt. "You, my talented friend, have the most important job of all. You're going to track down our seafaring fragment. Your ability to sense the key pieces is our best shot at pinpointing its location." "Alone?" Eloin's voice quavered slightly. I shook my head. "Not alone. I've got a friend in the harbor watch. Goes by the name of Sable. Tell her Corvus sent you, and she'll help you get whatever you need. Boat, crew, the works." As our plan took shape, I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that we were missing something. The veiled hand had been one step ahead of us at every turn. What were we overlooking? I turned back to the holographic map, studying the swirling visions of Quandaria's possible futures. Most showed variations of destruction and chaos, but one was different. It flickered in and out of existence, barely there for a moment before vanishing again. But in that brief glimpse, I saw something that made my heart skip a beat. Quandaria, whole and thriving, but different, changed in ways I couldn't quite grasp. "What aren't you telling us?" I murmured to the map, as if it could answer. "What's the piece we're missing?" A hand on my shoulder startled me from my reverie. Lyria stood beside me, her ageless eyes filled with understanding. "The future is never set in stone, Corvus," she said softly. "What we see here are possibilities, nothing more. It's our actions that will determine which path we ultimately walk." I nodded, grateful for her wisdom. Then I guess we'd better make sure our actions are the right ones, eh? I looked at each of my companions in turn, seeing the same mix of determination and fear that I felt reflected in their eyes. We meet back here in 24 hours, with or without the fragments. And if anyone's not back by then, we come looking, Grimlock finished, his gruff voice unusually solemn. No one gets left behind. With final nods of agreement, we stepped out of the sanctum and into the twisting tunnels of the Undercity.